Radical.
Welcome to part one of Radical Rapid Fire Common Response for May the 30th through June the 5th, 2022. Short comments, quick replies. Computer Chick Productions. I'm a single woman and I don't do online dating. Tried it once, had a bad experience. Well, it's no shocker there for guys and for females. I'm sure a lot of you have horror stories when it comes to online dating. Look at it more of like a last resort. I mean, it's great for hookups, but if you're actually looking for a long-lasting relationship, it's much better to actually transition from someone maybe that's a friend that you've known for several years that you have some experience with, where you have something to kind of build upon. And I know, ladies, sometimes you don't think that way. The best guy is usually someone that you already know, but you might be looking for the bad boys or something like that. Not all ladies, but just in general, ladies, fellas, try to date someone that you have known for several years and you have history with. That would be my advice. Unless, like I said, you just want to fling or something. Moon Knight 1985. You never beat the Irish. Well, when it comes to the Celtics, yeah, I mean, their mascot is lucky. They're a lucky team. But it wasn't luck that got them where they are. It isn't luck. They earned getting into the finals this year. But you know what? The Warriors did beat the Irish. Yeah, they sure did. They whooped them pretty good. So it's interesting to see what happens at Game 3, which will be in Boston. Like I said, just an interesting series, a fun series. This one might go the full 7. No. Rune Mamba, Celtics in 6. Oh, Rune says it won't go 7. Celtics in 6. It'll be hard, but they can do it. Celtics had one of the toughest roads to the finals in NBA history. And then you list a lot of their accomplishments there. Yeah, they beat the number one player, I think, in the league. Some people say it's Joel Embiid. I say it's Giannis. I think he's currently right now the number one player in the league. And they beat Giannis. Okay? Granted, Milwaukee didn't have their whole team, but still that's something to be proud about. And then they beat the Warriors. Excuse me there. Sorry, slip up. Then they beat Durant and the Nets, who, they had Kyrie, but they didn't have Ben Simmons. He didn't play. And then, of course, they got rid of James Harden. He went to another team. And then, Jimmy Buckets and the Heat. So, yeah, I think they had the toughest road going to the finals. You compare that to the Warriors. They beat, the great upcoming team, Memphis Grizzlies, that are very tough, but they don't have like that experience level to them. They beat the Mavericks, who's mostly a Luka-centric oriented team. And then they beat the Mavericks. Okay, and then the Nuggets. See, that's how easy the path for the Warriors was compared to the Celtics. They beat the Nuggets, and they didn't have Jamal Murray, right? So, yeah. Billy 5 Tick, get an old Ford Ranger. I'm trying, man. I want an old beat-up truck. I'd like an old beat-up Ford Ranger, just something for flea marketing. But it's hard. People are holding on to their vehicles. Especially like their small trucks, their old small trucks. Those are quite hard to find. And maybe some people haven't got the memo that, oh, crap, everyone wants these old small trucks because you can't get the new Maverick and everything. So people's looking for the old Ranger. There was an S10. I think I mentioned this. I could have got for $1,500, but it was just sold, and I didn't even know about it. I would have jumped on a $1,500 S10, definitely. Let's see. Dumez. Hardware in games is a small part of preservation, but it cannot be the main way, just a cool side, small way, because they will all fail with time. Digital preservation is the only way, cracked versions with no DRM. Think of it like a picture, okay? You got a Polaroid. Well, make a copy of that. You can make copies of that, but truly the best way to preserve things, I think, is also digital on multiple hard drives. But, they say hard drives can fail also, but it's good for full preservation. You want a combination of a lot of different things. I do agree with that. Brian Fatcamp. I can vouch for the online dating. It is horrible. What's even worse is small town dating. That's the worst. Well, your options in a small town are not nearly as good as if you're venturing out. Let's say if you want a classy gentleman or a classy lady, in a small town, you can still find good people. But let's say, you want somebody of a different pedigree, specifics, or let's say even want to like date a celebrity or something like that. You're not going to find many celebrities or really, I'm not going to say pristine people because there's good and bad people everywhere. But yes, small town dating can be the worst in that respect. Also, everyone knows your fucking business in a small town. So, if you're dating somebody from the small town and everyone winds up just knowing every single thing about your business because it's a small town. So, yeah. Dark Globe 1977. Turek 1, the comic, is pretty much worthless. It was printed at the height of the speculator boom and had a print run of well over 1 million. It's a $5 comic at best, even with the signatures. I will respectfully disagree with that. I mean, I'm not saying you don't know your values, but I think what I could get for it, easily 10, depending on the way I sell it. And as a salesperson, you just got to find the right person. And value is subjective, especially when you come to signatures, right? Like a signature book from Todd McFarlane or Eric Larson for Spider-Man, that's worth a lot more because that's a legendary character. Whereas Turek, a lot of people don't really think about like Turek a whole lot, but when you combine the fact that it has the signatures, it's a #1, and it has, I think, one of the best looking covers ever before on a comic, and it's in great condition, I think that's easily a $10 book. Stephen M., what about the self-proclaimed Queen of Wrestling, Charlotte Flair? Well, I chose a thumbnail here, and this may or may not be uploaded right now or tomorrow, depending on the rush. Probably won't be able to put this together. I'm looking at this thumbnail. This is from an interview with a YouTuber, I think Barstool Wrestling, and she comes across as like a really, just like not the character that she portrays. She seems like a really sweet person, very smiley, happy, giggly, and whatnot. But the thing that really like stuck out to me was the man hands. She has gigantic man hands. In fact, like a lot of her features are man-like. And that was passed down from, Ric Flair. I mean, it looks like it'd be terribly painful to get a chop from those massive palms. And you talk about the Queen of Wrestling, like, what do I think about the Queen of Wrestling? I think she's a great wrestler. When it comes to, all the skills necessary to be a great pro wrestler, yeah, she's one of the best. And that's why sometimes even on like pay-per-views, her matches are featured above some of the men's matches.